All right, it's your boy. So this was my surprise guest, someone I've been trying to connect with for a while. I don't know if he needs an introduction, man, because if you're in a T-shirt game and you don't know who this is,
you go with this shit again.
I have to. There's something that's wrong with you. So I'm sitting with the man, Mr. Stan Banks, Mr. T-shirt side hustle. He came out to the Bay and gave me the opportunity to come sit with him, man. We've been trying to connect this, and I'm here. So on my page at least, I'm trying to motivate people. In regards to starting a T-shirt business or whatever it is that you're doing, if you follow me long enough, you see that I'm really big on speaking things into existence. When I start something, I go all in. And I was talking to my brother on the way up here. March 29th will mark a year that I sat down on my couch when I got fired from COVID, and I said, you know what? Today I start my T-shirt business full time. And in less than a year from now, I plan to do A, B, and C. And like I said on my last video, up the last one, my last get together was with Reyes. Reyes was the first person I saw on YouTube when I popped up anything about T-shirts, and then you popped up after that. And so me and Reyes immediately connected. I'm a big believer that it's energy, because I don't want nothing from nobody. Right. I just love to sit with people that are doing something that can motivate people that I know who continuously ask me how it is that I'm getting into it.
Right.
So you then popped up through Reyes. Reyes came to visit me not that long ago, and I said, man, tell me more about Stan Banks. I said, because what I know, when I popped up on YouTube, I was like, man, he comes from where I'm coming from. But then what really messed me up, I was like, oh shit, he got a gun and everything. And he pulled that bad boy, laid it down smooth, so I was like, okay, he's about that shit too, you know what I mean? And so I had to get with you. I love your energy, I love what you do, but for me, man, where I come from, we don't have a lot of opportunity, and as a mixed dude, right, I've had it hard enough. And so I'm big on preaching to people, like I said, people of color specifically, that there is opportunity, no matter what you get into. So I don't want to take a bunch of your time. I'm gonna get as much as I can, but please, for those that don't know, because I'm in the music industry and in the sports world, I'm bringing them people over that don't know you quite yet. They're going to. Please tell us, man, all about you, bro.
Man, I'm Stan Banks. I created a YouTube channel in 2017. I just wanted to help people. I was working for 10 hours an hour doing security. When I was 27, that was the first job I ever had. Before that, I was doing a lot of different businesses, just trying to find my way.
Right.
And so to back it all the way up, I give you the full story. The full story real fast is I grew up fixing computers, taking them apart, putting them together. Then from there, I said I wanted to build websites. So I taught myself how to build websites. Right. I looked at these websites and like, man, my websites suck. And then I'm like, what can I do to make them better? I learned all of this shit. I'm doing everything that I learned. Right. And it came down to pictures. So then I started like, you know what? I need to get a camera. So I bought a camera, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna use this camera. I'm gonna take better pictures. Right. Next thing you know, everybody called me a photographer. I had really good photography work, still do, you know what I'm saying? Right. But then from there, I started to promote my business with my logo, Stan Banks Photography logo, and then people wanted to buy it. I'm like, what the fuck y'all want to buy my name? Why y'all want to buy my name? Like, right. It didn't make sense to me. So I bought a dozen, they sold out. I bought 2 dozen, they sold out. I bought 4 dozen, they sold out. I bought 8, they sold out. And I'm just like, yo, this is really crazy. They're buying my name. I wasn't trying to create a clothing brand, a clothing line, or nothing. So from there, people started to ask me, well, can you create can you make some shirts for me? Right. And I was like, well, I know where to go to get them printed at. I can do my own artwork because I taught myself that. Sure, I just started making. So I would actually mark shirts $1. And so the lady would charge me $8, I would charge $9. Right. Because I didn't want to price it out. I didn't know nothing about the industry, but I would make money off of artwork and the screen fee that the lady didn't charge me. And so from there, I would be making about $60 to $75 off the art, right, and in the screen fee, and then however many shirts they got. So I might pocket $100 for no work outside of the artwork that I did. So that was the beginning of it for me.
So I learned about Supacolor through you. I've since gotten an opportunity to connect with Rum and people through you. Tell me about Supacolor. Some people seem to believe that Supacolor might not be the next revolution. I believe that it is. It's definitely helped me scale my business. I love what they do, but you are actually you're partnered with Supacolor in a sense, right?
I consult.
You
and,
consult.
I brought it to the market. So it's turned into it's turned into something bigger. So you know, when I came to ISS show in Long Beach last year, well in California, Long Beach though, but I came and I'm out always looking for stuff that people need and want, right? And before that, I was doing Nina inkjet paper, and just doing like little stuff to try to produce some full color. I use F&M full color. Man, I was not proud to get that product out to like businesses, let alone use it for my brand. So it was like, only thing that I knew would be to outsource to DTG. The guy who did it locally only did it on white shirts. So it was like just that space that was like, well, where can I get a high quality print? And actually somebody from the audience tagged me in their post. And from there, man, it was like, you know what? We talked for a little bit. I'm like, nah, I ain't even gonna go. I can't, because I'm a hands-on, in-person type of guy. So I told you, I was like, man, listen, I could die tomorrow. You tomorrow, if I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm like, man, you better pull up. Like I just work. I just work. So from there, I showed up in LA, and the first 2 days I'm walking around my suitcase, and people like, be careful, you in LA. I'm like, man, listen, if they get me, they just gonna get me, because I'm out here. I don't know where I'm at.
You got that gun. You
not out here. Not out here. And so I went back to him. I was like, man, what was the name of that company? What was the name of that company? So I went back to my DMs, and I was like, I found him. Like, yo, I'm in LA. I don't know where I'm at. I don't even know if y'all here. I just know y'all on this side of the country, but I'm here. And I'll come by. So they sent me a car. I went over there and I checked the product out. I seen it operate, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, you know, this was it, because I wasn't even really looking for that. I was looking for jogger suits, right? So I was looking actively to try to find jogger suits to bring to the community or whatever the case was at the show. But this was even before the show. And I'm like, holy crap, if I never sent that DM and I never went to go meet them, they didn't have a booth at the show, so I wouldn't have saw it. But so I've seen the product in action. You know, you got to show me how it worked and pressed and all of that good stuff. And I'm looking at it like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I mean? The product is so high quality that, you know, this is something that I could use for a clothing brand. This is something that I could use in my business for what I was already doing at the time. And, you know, I started out screen printing, then I went backwards to heat pressing, and I was just looking at it like that. So I thought it was the next big thing. And then, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Everybody's using it and all of that stuff. But to me, it's more than that. You know, Supacolor, you don't have to. If maybe it's not a product for you. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, then don't use it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always try to tell people, bro. You go whatever direction you want to go. I'm gonna be good regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna do all the stuff that I need to do regardless. That's the same thing I've been doing. But if it's a product that you could use for whatever reason, then it's an option for you to go to.
Yeah. And he did teach me something while I was here. But by the time you watch this, the camera will be flipped the right way. You know, a software I use to edit my videos, I never knew it had an option such as flip. So when I'm filming, you're actually, well, you're not going to, right now, it's the whole opposite way around. But when you catch it, it'll be the right way. So I got to give you that. So going forward, you know, that's something else you taught me. I learned something else tonight, though. You sneaky, Rum. You sneaky. I did not know Rum was part of something I think I'm going to fall in love with, because as someone that presses as many hats that I do, Deco Press.
Yeah, Deco Press.
Rum.
It's a cousin company to Supacolor.
Come on, Rum. You didn't tell me you were Deco too. And I was like, it has to be the same person, but you know, from the email. Tell me about Deco Press, because the moment you started talking about them, I was like, I need that. I was like, you know, that's life right now, because I'm always looking for, and obviously it should be that way. It, you know, work smarter, not harder.
Right, no question.
Deco Press may be the next thing I completely fall in love with. But please explain Deco Press to these cats.
It's the next big thing, man. You know, because it's Emblems made easy.
Yeah.
And that's what the motto is. And the reason I see it that way is because it's so simple. It's the simple, you know, especially if you order Supacolor, you use Supacolor, it's the same model as that. They're trying to get them out just as fast. It's a little bit of a, you know, a little bit more of a tedious process, and different things like that. But if you got a heat press, you can start to put out patches on hats and different things like that. I got some right here.
I was gonna ask you if you can show them some patches. Look how beautiful this is.
So this is actually a test hat. So on this test hat here that you guys are looking at, I just pressed it on here just to try to press it and see if it'll fail on me. But you can do different things like locker tags. I got one here, and this shirt right here is by John Phenom. Put a little locker tag on the shirt, just add some extra value.
Right.
But man,
it doesn't come off for nothing.
You can try to pick that off. I'm tearing up.
This is the first time I'm getting to see it.
I'm tearing up the fabric before. Some of these, this edge here, I didn't really get to press down, but anything that I kind of got pressed all the way down, it's not coming up. I'm tearing. You can look at it there, and I can see that I'm tearing up the fabric.
I'm actually holding it now, right? So look, it doesn't. Yeah, this is nice. And this is just heat pressed on.
Just heat pressed on. So
now, I saw you had something else though.
Man, so I'm trying to listen, man. When the people say something,
you know
when I know something is good, and I know, like, sometimes a lot of the companies that I come in contact with, it's either that some of them don't make the channel because I don't like the product, and I'm like, nah, it's not the right product, or I try to get them to make some changes to some stuff before they, bring it out, or they just not ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally being able to break a system like Supacolor broke in the first couple of weeks that it was going on. We had our attempts to actually get the accounts open and different things like that. They can handle the workload, but as far as taking on accounts, it wasn't something that they was used to. Honestly, they weren't even going to come out to the general public. That was never their mission or their model. Until I came, in the picture. But with Deco Press, it's literally so easy to price stuff. It's so easy to know what you're getting. A 10-piece minimum. And right now, like I was saying, a lot of companies aren't ready. I'm like, man, we can't wait. I can't wait no longer, right? Like spring's about to hit. Summer's coming. It's hat season. So if it doesn't happen now, it's like, well, you can release it in the winter, but it's not going to be as impactful. So timing is really, really important. So with that product that you're talking about, right? So
this is what I'm excited about.
I'm kind of testing it right now. So they already know it works, but I want to see for myself because I know how impactful that is if you don't have a hat press. If you could create a hat without a hat press, and it be permanent. Now the way we picked this hat.
Create a hat without a hat press.
We're not going to, you ain't gonna buy a hat and do this to it, right? But this is like the extreme, the same way people want to get their shirts. They want to give it the muscle man stretch and stuff like that. But if basically the way that it's explained to me, I seen it, but I wanted to do it myself, is that you can press onto a hat, press it down pretty good with pressure, and in 3 days it'll become permanent. How it's done and all of that stuff is proprietary to them, but it could become permanent. So I'm like, if this works, and even if I could probably like claw at it like that and get it off, but it would take me some force, then that's a product that people could use.
I would still use it.
Thinking about, because you're not gonna go and claw on your product that you purchase, right? As long as it's like normally abrasions and stuff like that. So that's one type of transfer adhesive that I'm trying to get them to see the value in. So that's why I made that video. I tried to force their hand. Like, I'm like, nah, the people need this. People need this. So I was like, watch. I ain't even asked. I just like, I'm gonna do this. He's like, man, I'm just trying to create the conversation. And now it got interest. So I'm like, I took that. I screenshotted it. I'm gonna let you read it.
That was look, the moment I saw that, I was like, I need that. I even sent crying emojis like I need that so bad.
Read that right there.
The people that smoking.
I sent the link to it and I said,
power to the people.
The people want it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is the stuff that, like, people don't see a lot of stuff that going behind the scenes of what I actually do. And they think one thing, but it's totally not that, right? So just trying to make, like, if I see something that I know it's something that the people could use, or, like, I think about everybody who has heat presses but haven't invested in the hat press yet, or even if they don't even have a heat press yet, they could just get something and say they made it and be confident that it'll work. So if I say it works and I test it out, do my due diligence and stuff like that, and I'm confident that you can order it and not have a hat press, make yourself some custom hats, then from there I'm like, man, it gotta come to market. Now it's like just trying to see which way I go with it next. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for watching part one of my two-part interview with Mr. Stan Banks, T-shirt side hustle himself. Trust me, you do not want to miss part two. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't. I soaked him for every bit of information I possibly could while I had him, and you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, and in between time, head on over to Supacolor.com, sign up for an account today. They'll send you a free sample kit. And look, from what I've heard, They have a lot of big changes coming. A lot of stuff that we've requested are in the mix. Thank you for watching. Part 2 coming tomorrow.